Hey, it's Doug from the Rise Above Gym channel, and I'm going to teach you today how to get stronger without simply increasing the weight. Let's check it out. Weight increase has always been the gold standard of improvement or getting stronger because it's quantifiable. The age-old question of how much you bench is still relevant today, and people use it all the time. But I want to go over ways to increase your strength without just simply adding weight. Now, weight is a good way, like I said, to quantify things, but it may not happen all the time. You may plateau. You may, as you age, like myself, probably aren't going to get stronger in certain lifts in your deadlift and your bench press. You might have some injuries that don't allow you to increase your strength via weight, but you're able to get stronger in other ways. So I want to teach you some strategies today on how to do that. Now, this is great not only to kind of build well-rounded strength, but also to kind of check out some neglected areas. So we're going to check like rotation. We'll check out sides of the body to see how they perform. Also, if you go on vacation like I did recently, you're able to go into a weight room in your hotel room and have a great workout. Now, the dumbbells only go up to usually about 35 or 45 pounds in those places, but you should be able to get a great workout with just some modifications. So I'm going to give you some ways to do that. Let's get into it. Now, strength is relative and it shouldn't be quantifiable all the time. So for an example, gymnasts rarely use any external weight. They might use some for kind of maintenance things or just to round things out within their workout, but they're mostly doing body weight and they're doing high velocity exercises. And I don't think anyone would say they were not strong. Now, they might not be able to deadlift 600 pounds, but they are strong. They can do muscle ups, pull ups, and their endurance is great. Also, let's say a 300-pound person can bench press 250, but then there's a 175-pound person that can bench press 200 pounds. Now, the person that bench presses 250 at that weight is doing less per pound of body weight than the 175-pound person. So, we can argue till the cows come home of who's stronger, but I just want to point out that weight is not the most important thing, not only for assessing who is strongest, but also for gaining strength. Now, one way that you could gain more strength is by taking a weight you normally use, and you can either increase the reps, which is the density, or the amount of sets that you do, which is the volume or overall amount that you lift. So I could just take this weight. Let's say I normally do 5, I can do 6 reps. Let's say I normally do 3 sets, I can add that 4th set, and I added a whole lot more density and volume to my workouts with the same weight. So my overall weight lifted is a lot more, and I'm able to gain strength and move up to the next weight down the road, and then add those little components of more sets and more reps. Another way to increase strength without increasing the weight is increasing the range of motions on lifts. Now, do an assessment so you can say, okay, I can lunge with this weight, let's say, and I'm getting just under parallel. Now, can I back off and maybe even go body weight and see if I can drop down without pain and get more range of motion? Your body is strong only a few degrees above and maybe below the range of motions that you train. So let's say I'm only training and getting not 90 degrees, but going heavy. If I go to play a sport and I go really low in my lunge, I'm not going to be strong there because I haven't trained in that range of motion. That's why I think range of motion training is a good way to do that. So I can go range of motion on a body weight exercise like that. I can also do something simple like just elevating my heels on a squat and see if I can get a little bit lower, keep my feet a little bit narrower, and I'm just dropping down lower maybe than I could if I didn't have that, where I can only get maybe right to there. Because my heels are elevated and the angles change, I'm able to increase my range of motion. So you can do this with pretty much any exercise. Obviously, don't excessively go over your range of motion like in a push-up, like bars, and go way out there and hurt your shoulder. Keep it within a reasonable amount and make sure that you're able to move smoothly and safely without pain through those ranges of motion. The next one is time under tension. So you can increase strength by the amount of time you're under a load. So if I'm doing a light weight and I'm going fast, let's say that took 2 seconds. If I go slow and take like a 3 count up, a pause with isometric tension, and a 3 count down, that is 7 seconds instead of 2. The time under tension that my muscles are in is greater, and therefore I can increase strength a lot more with these same 10-pound weights. You can make light weights very, very difficult with these isometric and slow eccentrics or downward motions, and then get a lot of strength built without increasing the weight. Maybe I can't do 30 pounds. I'm using my back too much. I'm just going to go lighter, squeeze up, control down, pause with tension, squeeze up, and control down with tension. You can do this with lunges. You can even do this with squats, pause squats, things like that. There's really no exercise you can't really do it with. Pull-ups are a great way to do it. So let's say you can only get like 5 pull-ups and you can't go beyond that. Try slowing it down on the eccentric or a little bit of pause at the top, and that time under tension will catapult you to the next strength level. This one I think all people should do more of is unilateral or single-sided work. It's very easy to put on strength and doing, let's say, 2 legs at the same time, RDLs, and this is, oh wow, this weight's so light. But if I move over to a single-sided RDL, not only will it feel much more challenging, I'll probably feel a difference between sides. So I would say trying more unilateral or single-sided exercises will not only balance out your sides, but you'll get more strength out of it. And also I have to kind of go a little bit slower, that time under tension thing. Same thing with this. Oh, this is getting easy. But if I go to single side, maybe I can't do that many reps, but it's getting very difficult. And I can notice that my left side might not be as strong as my right. So add a lot more unilateral strength exercises and you'll see your strength improve dramatically. The next tip is to try exercises that maybe you've been neglecting or that are completely new to you. So new exercises, obviously you're not going to be able to jump in with a lot of weight, and you have to focus on form and movement and see how your body reacts. Same thing with old exercises that you've been avoiding. I avoid lunges, but I should do them more, and I do at least do them once a week. So you can do lunges, obviously the regular way, but let's say I've been avoiding these front foot elevated lunges, which are a lot harder, and I have to drop my hip a lot lower. So I'm just going to work on these. I don't like them, but they make me a lot stronger, and I can feel the side difference in terms of strength and stability. Also, I could do a lunge, let's say like a curtsy lunge. I don't do these very often, but I found that when I have been doing them, they help my knees out a lot. But I got to go slow. I can't go heavy. If I go heavy, it would probably hurt my knees. So I would step back, and I kind of line up my knee, the back of this knee and the front of the rear knee, and then just step forward and back. And I do these pretty much body weight. I don't add a lot of weight because it does put a lot of torque on the hip. But as a body weight version or a light version, it does wonders. Now, if I were to go heavy, it's probably going to be detrimental. So you got to move well with these new exercises and move smoothly. Same thing with presses. So let's say, for example, the standard military press is getting pretty easy, and I don't have a lot of weight to go up. You can do with kettlebell, you can do this waiter press. So I have to use a lot more stability, a lot more time under tension to be successful. You can also do bottoms up pressing. Same thing. So I have to use a lot more grip, time under tension to be successful, and a lot less reps. And that makes that weight feel very heavy. So again, don't avoid exercises. Sprinkle the ones in that you haven't done in a while, and sprinkle the ones you need to as well, and you'll watch your strength go up in the other lifts. Lastly, change the movement variable. So let's say I'm very used to doing rows. I brace my body here and I row. This weight's pretty easy. I can do this all day long. What if I take my arm away, tighten up, and do that same row? Now I feel my core engaging a whole lot more, and all of a sudden this weight got a whole lot harder and I have to concentrate a lot more. Same thing, let's say, with a press. So I can do a press, pretty straightforward and easy. What if I go to half kneeling? I don't have my leg support as much. I got to use my core a lot more. I just changed that variable, and it made that weight a lot harder to do. So you can do this with anything. So you can do it with squats. So let's say squats, one reason I like the kettlebell, I can do a unilateral one-sided kind of squat, both my legs are working bilaterally, but the weight is uneven on one side. So I got to resist rotation and forward pitch of the weight, and it just made it way more challenging on that side. So there you have it. Those are my ways to get stronger without increasing the weight. You're only really limited by your imagination. Go slow, check in with the body, and your body will keep progressing over time, and you will generally get stronger overall. If you like the video, please like it down below. Also subscribe, as I try to put a new video out every week. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.